I didn't cry at The Undertaker's farewell. Just saying
But
that
none
right
of us
now.
did. Because we're men.
Yep. I can do it. I can do it. But yeah. What's
Just
going
don't make
on,
me
everybody?
rewatch. Yeah, don't make me rewatch WrestleMania 33 because then I'll cry at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Obviously, we have Tomas back on the channel. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm can't complain too much. New puppy in the house is downstairs. We're training him right now. So, can't complain too much.
I'm sure we'll hear some. Yeah, we'll hear some barking throughout the video.
Well, I mean, headphones, I don't know. And he's not very loud right now. But you also see we have Chris Lash back on the channel, the one and only. After a month away, you were on for TakeOver 31. Glad to have you back, my friend.
Glad to be back. I appreciate you having me.
Of course, man. And honestly, I'm really glad to have you here also, because we were talking yesterday and you said that, like, I don't know if this is like a direct quote, but you said the Survivor Series is like your favorite.
It is. Survivor Series is like one of my favorite pay-per-views because it just has, next to the Rumble, it has the most superstars shown because of the 5-on-5 classic Survivor Series matches.
Mm-hmm.
As I like this whole brand versus brand thing they've been doing, I'm a little disappointed they couldn't throw in NXT because of the whole pandemic thing going on.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with this whole brand versus brand thing. It's a lot better than the bragging rights pay-per-view ever was.
Yes, and I will agree with you that I love the NXT stuff last year, but one too many triple threat matches kind of wore me out. So
I
I'm
love triple
kind of
threat
glad.
matches. I'm cool with it.
But when every single match is a triple threat match, and when the Survivor Series matches are kind of fusterclucks because of the triple threat, I kind of I liked it. I really did. But at this year, I'm glad we got a break from it because it was a lot.
I mean, yeah, you didn't even need the triple threat matches for them to be fusterclucks.
Yeah, tonight proved that.
We'll be sure to get into that for sure. I mean, I enjoyed the show overall, but like you guys said, this is a very uneventful show for a lot of reasons because, yeah, Chris, to your point, this is almost like the bragging rights pay-per-view, forgettable concept overall, and they've kind of merged that into the
no titles on the line. Yeah, no titles on the line and no grudge matches. Very to little build for these matches because they're all brand versus brand. And even though it would have been nice to see Raw invade SmackDown or SmackDown invade Raw, there really wasn't much. It was just guys cutting promos against each other. Unless it was Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, who actually had some face-to-face stuff.
Yeah. Drew versus Roman was the match I was looking forward to the most, and we'll get into that. But, I mean, I think a way that they can fix Survivor Series down the line, because the brand versus brand concept is cool, give the guys an incentive to fight for something other tthan just brand supremacy, because we've seen that done before. Like, offer the winning brand the number 30 spot in the Rumble, something like that, It's like have something on the line is all I'm saying. But
at the same time, you are asking WWE to plan 2 months in advance, and that's way too much to ask of them.
Yeah, but at the same time, you also
way too much.
Remember when the mixed challenge prize was the 30 spot in the Rumble?
Yeah, and they gave it to R-Truth and Carmella.
It wasn't even R-Truth. It was Nia Jax in the men's Rumble, but we'll forget. We'll forget that I just mentioned that. But speaking of Battle Royals, on the Kickoff show, no heat. We're just given a dual-branded Battle Royal. 20 guys with nothing to do just thrown in there. Have at it. The one thing that really pissed me off from the get-go is that they threw out John Morrison first.
I was also bothered by that. I was very shocked that he was first to be eliminated. But I was just sitting there like, wait, hold on. The match just started. And they are already kicked Morrison out?
I know. I think I audibly screamed out, "Fuck you, Dominic," because he was the one that eliminated him. But,
right before we started this podcast, I was telling Zack, whose Cheerios did Morrison piss into to get this treatment that he's had the past few months? Just shoved to the side, being, second to The Miz, and, just being squashed by Otis. And now, first out in a battle, I can forgive everything I just said, but throwing him out first in the Rumble, the Battle Royal, it's like, you had something with Morrison the first time he ran when he was in WWE. Don't screw it up so soon. Like, I don't know. Do they have something against him?
I don't know, man. That was a perfect opportunity to put the briefcase on him, but you just go back to the waterworks with the Miz. But you do have some cool little showdowns thrown in there, like just to give us a little taste of what's to come with the Survivor Series matches. We do get a Kalisto versus Rey Mysterio exchange, which is something I've wanted for a while.
That was very fun.
Short-lived. What's up, Chris?
Okay, so it might just be my completely messed up way of thinking, but the only reason I'm happy they finally got face to face is so I could figure out which one of them is actually fucking taller.
And what was the verdict?
The verdict was they're the same height.
I was just gonna say,
I was so annoyed.
I still haven't figured that out. Like, just thinking about it, looking at them, I'm like, they're the same exact height. Why was Chris going through all that work? Rey Mysterio was also thrown out way early by Dolph Ziggler.
I think Dominic and Rey should have switched placement in elimination. Like, no offense to Dominic, but he's way too green still to be doing what he did in that Rumble.
WWE obviously does not ever want to give this guy a victory, so I think that would have worked perfectly.
For a green guy, Dominic is awesome. But, I mean, I might just be, a big believer in him. But I also wrote down Humberto loses lol. Where you at Cena wins lol, because Humberto always loses. Who's thrown out. There were a lot
of guys in this battle royal that I look at, and it's like Apollo Crews, before the Thunderdome was created, was one of those all-stars that was busting through, when the roster was very thin. And now that a lot of the wrestlers are back, they shoved him to the side, and it's just like, come on, don't do that to Apollo Crews. I see Ricochet in there. I see Kalisto in there.
Shinsuke Nakamura
in there. It's just like 20 guys. It's like, WWE, you can find something to do for these guys.
Blasphemous.
Robert Roode.
It was kind of haphazardly thrown together.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, you got Buddy Murphy eliminated midway through the match when I thought he was going to win, in all honesty, because of all the momentum he has after beating Seth Rollins on Friday. But, I don't know. There was... What's that?
At the beginning of the match, I was literally just looking at who was in the ring, and I was like, who in this match would go over and why? No one leads anything in this match.
No incentive.
As the participants were getting smaller and smaller, I see Chad Gable, and I'm just like, this is your opportunity, WWE. Do something with Chad Gable. And he was looking good at the end. Yep. He had a great little exchange with Dominic. That made me think.
Oh, my God, it was so good.
That made me think, throw Gable a bone finally.
I want more Gable-Dominic matches because their exchange was super, super good. Gable actually ousted Jeff Hardy also, which was really, really awesome. But, yeah, Final Four comes around. Yeah, Gable.
Miz, Dominic, Gable, and was it Hardy?
It was Hardy, yeah. Gable throws out Hardy.
And I missed the part where Miz got thrown over the top rope and rolled back in, and then Dominic drop-kicked him out. So I was looking at my girlfriend going, is Miz out? And we kind of assumed that he was out. But I had the back of my mind, maybe he wasn't. Maybe they pulled that whole switcheroo like they always do. So I'm watching Gable and Dominic with that in the back of my head, like, give this to Gable. But at that point, I realized it's not going to Gable, even though it should.
No.
I two things. One, on Gable. Yes, I want to see more of Gable. However, the one thing of Gable I don't want to see anymore, it just could be a personal bias, is his front flip heel kick.
The rolling Liger kick.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, I don't understand.
It's not his best move. He should just be suplexing people. But then again...
rolling chaos theory. That's the move I want to see over and over and over. That's, he does that move so beautifully.
But Dominic throws out Gable, basically just getting to the end. Dominic is celebrating like he's won, even though he didn't hear a bell ring because he's a dumb babyface. Then The Miz comes in from behind and eliminates him. I'll give credit for WWE in that they got the Money in the Bank holder a win. But this was a meaningless match. I gave it like 2.25 stars if I'm being nice. Fine battle royal.
I gave it 2 stars, and I will give WWE credit for being very creative on how The Miz did not get eliminated, because I don't think we've ever seen that before. Going over the top rope and rolling back into the ring for a second to break that, and then he gets drop kicked out of the ring. It was an extreme technicality that I don't think we've ever seen before. I have no issue with Miz winning. I'm just more salty that Gable didn't win, because I just felt like if you could throw anyone a bone, you could throw Chad Gable one, especially since you've been how he's been treated this past year, especially. Like, you couldn't have made, hey, sorry for the Shorty G shit, here's a Battle Royal win. Like, they couldn't throw him that.
I wasn't going to bring up Shorty goddamn fucking G on this podcast, but thank you for reminding me of that.
But yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like,
yeah. Chris,
they couldn't throw Gable that bone.
Chris, your thoughts on the Battle Royal?
It belonged on the kickoff. I give it a solid 1.5, maybe 2 if I'm being generous.
Yeah.
And it's
well said.
not against the guys that were in there. They worked tonight. They earned their paychecks. It was bad planning.
Yeah.
That was on the writers. That match, that battle royal did not really need to happen. Like you guys said, it was just 20 guys who otherwise would have just been sitting around that night.
Nothing to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. They were given some TV time finally.
They were given TV time. So just
especially
keeping
guys
score.
like Apollo Crews and Chad Gable.
So keeping score, by the way, this is a theme for this podcast that I want to do because WWE was so gracious to not do it for us this year for a reason we'll get into. Raw is up 1-0 right now. So
okay.
In any case, the actual pay-per-view opens with the men's Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw, AJ Styles, the actual captain, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Sheamus, and Riddle. Not Matt Riddle, just Riddle. Team SmackDown, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Baron Corbin, Jey Uso, and Otis. Chris, what's up?
Now, the one complaint I want to go with is, from the start, these teams were lopsided. Looking at Team SmackDown compared to Team Raw,
Jesus
you have
fucking Christ.
Yeah.
You have
Just
two
listen off all those
members
names.
of a tag team. I know Heavy Machinery's broken, but still. Otis, Jey Uso, which I know his brother's injured, and they're pushing Jey as a main eventer, which I really appreciate. And then you got Seth Rollins, King Corbin, and Kevin Owens. And it's just like, they could have stacked SmackDown a little more to make them a little more credible, as opposed to what we got. Like, as much as the storyline needed Jey Uso to be in this team, I feel like Daniel Bryan should have been there. It should have been Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel
Bryan could have benefited so much from being on this team.
At the very least, Rey Mysterio. But in any case, yeah, Chris, you were gonna say something when I was going through the names. Sorry, I cut you off.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I blinked and the match was over. Did this match even pass like the 20-minute threshold?
You know, I'm gonna look this up. Actually, I'm gonna fact check.
It was so fast. It felt like literally, it was just like elimination. Wait,
yeah,
elimination.
Well, because spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, this was a clean sweep. Team Raw absolutely obliterated their opposition. No wonder the teams are so lopsided.
Which, in my opinion, they should have
19 minutes and 25 seconds. So no, it did not pass the 20-minute mark.
Man,
that
barely.
has to be the fastest one of the fastest Survivor Series matches.
Just for those keeping score at home, the women's match was 4 minutes longer.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
23 minutes, 20 seconds.
That is ridiculous. I mean, I liked this match more than the women's match, personally. I had more fun with it just because, to Chris's point at the beginning, I got to see a lot of matchups that I wouldn't normally see. We got, let's see, hold on.
Otis and Keith Lee.
Otis and Keith Lee was
fun.
Freaking awesome.
This is a rivalry I need in my life.
Oh,
Before we get into the match, real quick about entrances, Keith Lee has a good theme song. Yep. Finally. They got rid of his...
He's rapping in it.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of
NXT.
that.
One of the songs again.
Generic rock crap. They got rid of that. And they gave him a good theme song because there was nothing wrong with his NXT theme song. WWE just had to make him look dumb for a few months.
Now all we need is his gear to be strapless again, and then we're set.
Yeah, but
Keith
we also
Lee is a thick boy. Let him be thick. There's nothing wrong with being thick, WWE.
We also got Otis versus Riddle, which was something that I really was interested in seeing. Otis was like, "Oh yeah, bro."
Oh yeah,
Uh,
believe it or not, Otis actually matches up very well with a lot of wrestlers,
Yeah,
even
Otis
with
was
Seth
over.
Rollins.
Well, you got to remember, Otis has like Greco-Roman background. He is a
Oh yeah,
mat wrestler.
yeah. A lot of people wouldn't believe that he's a legitimate wrestler, but he is, and I have a lot of respect for Otis,
Yeah.
especially after tonight because he was over.
My one thing about Otis that really was nagging me is he was no-selling Riddle's kicks, even though Riddle is a former mixed martial artist. And I'm
Well,
like,
Yeah,
those
you
are supposed to
know,
hurt.
in my
Like,
opinion, Riddle should not have been on the team anyway, but that's just my bias. I really don't like Riddle. I really
I
don't.
oh
used to
man,
not like Riddle,
I
but when
don't
he came to NXT, he started growing on me.
I
I
don't
don't
know, man.
I don't understand the allure of his character, which is pretty much him playing himself,
Oh yeah.
but I don't know, he just bothers me.
He's
My
like,
thing
I don't
about
know
Riddle
why.
is he's one broken ankle away of having to wear boots for the rest of his career, but
yes.
they will not do that because Vince McMahon knows that his flip-flops sell.
Oh yeah, Matt Riddle to me is like what would happen if Brock Lesnar and Rob Van Dam had a secret love child. You get Matt Riddle. Like I don't know, man. Just his demeanor, it gives me a lot of Van Dam vibes. But I
I,
don't know.
I
Maybe
get what you mean, though. Riddle, I didn't like him in the beginning. Like when he was on the Indies,
well,
I didn't like him at all. But when he came to NXT, he started growing on me a lot.
he does rub a lot of people the wrong way backstage. But Vince is seeing a lot of like a Shawn Michaels in him, a lot of similarities.
Wow,
So he
that's
wants
a
to actually
stretch.
push Riddle to the top. Like even though he's rubbing people the wrong way, he rubs Seth Rollins the wrong way. So that's why they are not on the same
Goldberg, Brock
brand.
Lesnar, yeah, he has a history of that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, like you said, Riddle is one broken ankle away from wearing boots, and Kevin Owens was exploiting that by stomping at his feet, which I think is brilliant psychology on his part.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
How did nobody think of that? But then Seth Rollins is asking Kevin Owens for the tag when Sheamus was in the ring. And I'm like, Seth has been catatonic ever since he made his entrance. He lost to Murphy, like I mentioned on Friday. He goes in and he's like, for the greater good, he goes on his knees and offers himself, sacrifices himself to Sheamus. Big old bro kick, Seth is gone. And I'm
So
like,
I liked that.
I did too.
I liked what Seth did tonight. Obviously, it was to write him off of TV for a few
Yep.
months because of Becky,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
but the way he played it, he was deadpan. You could see just weeks of disappointment, but like anger and like I don't know how to explain it, but his face was perfect. The lack of emotion he had the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I was not. I honestly, when he tagged Kev, like when he asked Kevin for the tag, I thought he was gonna go in and wipe the floor with Team Raw by
Yeah.
himself, single-handedly. Be like, I am the Messiah. Get on my level. But no, it was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I
my
also
opinion.
very much enjoyed what happened because until Zack told me, oh, they're writing him off TV because Becky Lynch is due anytime now, I had
Mhm.
no idea what the hell was going on. Just
Yeah.
like, why did Rollins do that? What is this leading to? It makes a lot more sense now. And also, this is a perfect time to write him off TV because Rollins has nothing to do right now.
He
I'm
really
tired
doesn't.
of the Mysterio feud. I'm really tired of it. And if there was any time for Rollins to take some time off, it's right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In my opinion, this is the best opportunity to tweak his character a little bit. Because in my opinion, the Messiah character can only go so far.
Oh, yeah. And it's been a
Yeah.
year. It's been a
Because
year.
like, what happens when the Messiah, the savior of SmackDown, meets the tribal chief?
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. You got to turn
Rollins
Seth.
has got to be babyface.
Yep.
Rollins
Someone
has
has to be a
babyface to do that.
face.
Yep.
Oh,
It
yeah.
can't be Roman,
Oh, no.
like because
No.
he's just doing too good as a heel. But
Yeah.
I mean, what a story! I mean, nothing but good vibes to Seth and Becky. I mean, they're due anytime, so I wish them the best of luck.
I hope the child is a ginger. We need more.
Yes.
Oh, of course, of course. But
So yeah, Raw is up 5-4 at this point, and this is
Mhm.
when they start rallying on the outside, and this is when Kevin Owens starts taking over as the leader, which I think he should have been the captain all along. because he's that strong babyface to counter AJ Styles' heel over on Team Raw.
Yep.
He's rallying the troops on the outside. Braun Strowman gets off the apron. He runs around the ring, and he just tackles through all of them, which I thought was beautiful. That was a great spot.
Yeah, that was a really, really fun spot. And yeah, that's where we get Keith Lee and Otis afterwards, which, as we mentioned, great super heavyweight showdown. AJ Styles and Kevin Owens tag in once again, 2017 rewind. AJ was in orbit on that back body drop. He really knows
They
how to
work
take those.
very well together.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like ever since AJ Styles debuted in the Royal Rumble, he's always crossed paths with Kevin Owens in like these types of matches, and they always work well together.
Yeah.
They just didn't work well at Battleground 2017 for whatever reason.
You got to remember, they also have plenty of history on the indies.
Oh yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Those
absolutely.
two know each other. You got to remember, at this point, half to, if not a little more, of the NXT and main rosters are indie guys of past.
Mm-hmm.
They've worked with each other for years. They're friends.
Oh, yeah.
In and out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
The new breed for sure. But Kevin Owens is hitting stone cold stunners on everybody. Gimmick infringement.
I'm so happy we got like stunner. It's been a while since we got them shotgun like that. It was.
I called him the KO stunner because if Owens is going to use that as his finisher, he needs to make it his own.
Oh,
and to see him string a bunch of stunners like that, I feel like that would make Stone Cold proud.
Oh, for sure.
Because remember, everybody thought that John Cena had heat from Stone Cold by using the springboard stunner. Stone Cold came out and said, no, my issue with Cena using the stunner is not that he's using it, it's because it's not his finisher. So I feel like Owens got the blessing from Stone Cold because now it's his finisher, because the stunner should.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And sure enough, after he hits all those stunners, in comes AJ with a big phenomenal forearm, and Kevin Owens is gone now. So I'm like, Seth is gone. Kevin Owens is gone.
You got Otis, Jay, and King Corbin now. And that's when I started thinking, this isn't good for SmackDown.
King Corbin does get a big burst of offense. He hits an end of days on AJ, which almost gets rid of him, and I was very scared that King Corbin was actually going to do it.
I got to complain about this. When it's an elimination match, don't break up the pinfalls. I hate that. I feel like it totally breaks the what's the word I'm looking for? Just the pace of the match.
Yeah, the pacer, maybe like just the whole idea of the match.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a fatal 4-way elimination match, like I can understand that. But if it's your teammate,
when Kevin Owens is getting eliminated and Jey Uso doesn't go in to break up, why should Team Raw be able to come in and break it up just to make
that's
it
a good point.
Sweet?
That's a really good point.
They shouldn't have even teased Styles getting eliminated if they were going to do that. Just a little pet peeve of mine when it comes to elimination matches. But yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So
but,
I agree with the breaking up of the pins. My gripe, however, is more like logistical, because when you're in a standard tag match, there's only one person breaking up the tag. Even if you have a 6-man, there's 1 or 2 people breaking up the tag. When you have 9 guys in the ring, it gets crowded and it gets hard to do things. So I think that's my only gripe with it, was because right after you got people tripping over people on the ground, which makes it not pretty.
Oh yeah. Speaking of not pretty, Matt Riddle does hit King Corbin with a bro salt, and he actually pins Corbin to eliminate him. Sweet, sweet revenge, by the way. It's down to Otis and Jay.
Otis and Jay against all of Team Raw. And I was just thinking, Otis and Jay need to pull a miracle out of their asses, or they're getting steamrolled right now. And Otis does start becoming a house of fire. And he starts hitting suplex after suplex after suplex and all these guys. He even gets Keith Lee off the ground. And I'm just thinking, if you want to push Otis as a babyface, this is where you make him look good.
We get
and
Otis
then they didn't
versus
do that.
Braun also.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we get rid of Otis, I might have missed this, but when did he start becoming a trucker?
I feel like he's always been a trucker.
Since he got his new spanking Dale Oliver theme song last month,
like,
probably.
He's got the hat now. He's got the like torn denim jacket thing going on. His new theme song is just freaking like all sorts of I don't know. I'm like, okay, so his gimmick's a trucker now?
I was telling Tomas during the Hell in a Cell review that it legit sounds like James Storm's theme from TNA. Like, it sounds almost identical. If you put the two next to each other, like, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
Great. Now I know what I'm doing after this podcast.
Long necks and red necks. But anyway, running power slam by Braun on Otis gets rid of him. After he does hit a nice caterpillar, Jey Uso is left all alone. And super kick party. You know?
And it's just like,
too bad that's all it was a super kick party.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was.
and I was just
tried his
thinking
damnedest.
Jay couldn't eliminate like 2 people just to get him over, because if they're trying to remember, this is the 3rd pay-per-view in a row where Jey Uso has been put at a tremendous disadvantage. And, just to get Jay a little more over with that, you think he couldn't have eliminated like at least Riddle?
Yeah, no, he almost eliminated AJ. He was going for the splash, but his associate on the outside, who must be green as fuck, he's gigantic. He pulls AJ out. Yes. Yeah, he pulls AJ out, saves him from the splash because I don't know, he's probably not that good in the ring right now, so it's probably all he's good for.
Also, his nameless associate, by the way, we still don't know what that guy's name is.
Almost.
It
was a
O-M-O-S.
nameplate. OMOS.
That's right. They did say his name on Raw the other week, but I did not remember it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he actually, there are some videos of NXT matches of his on there.
Oh, really?
On YouTube. Sorry. I've found a few.
My only question is he as green as he looks?
Yes.
Of course.
I knew it.
Of course.
I knew it. But basically,
don't put him in the ring, WWE, please.
Not yet. Don't put him in the Rumble right now. It's tempting.
I know Vince is foaming at the mouth right now because he wants him in the ring, but please don't.
Yeah, Keith Lee blind tags in from AJ. He catches Jey Uso in midair in a beautiful spirit bomb, and Keith Lee actually gets the final pin on Jey Uso, and it's a Raw clean sweep. The first time we've seen a clean sweep at Survivor Series since Team DX in 2006. Fun fact. But it was a fun match. I gave it like 3 1/4, 3 1/2 of them being nice. There were some really, really fun sequences. I kind of wish it wasn't a clean sweep. Like, I kind of wish that Otis got like 1 elimination, like that,
Yeah, I give it 3 stars, and I do appreciate, again, the matchups that were in this match, and it was fun, but I didn't like the clean sweep. You could have done a better job of getting the baby faces over on Team SmackDown. Rollins did his thing. King Corbin did his thing. Jey Uso is in the main event storyline right now. You could have done something with him. And for the love of God, WWE, if you're trying to get Otis over, you already took away his briefcase. You took away his girlfriend. Like, what more can you do to this man before, the fans start giving up on him?
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't think they're trying to put him over at this point. I think
him a big weight jobber.
Which is a shame because he is over. Before the pandemic started, he was over with the crowd.
Well, but you got to remember, look at the other characters that are over. There are a lot of jobbers that are over that still job.
And remember, the number one thing you cannot do in WWE is get yourself over.
Yeah.
Just ask Matt Cardona.
Just ask Miro. Yeah, so it was, it wasn't a bad opener at all. Chris, do you have a rating? Any final thoughts?
Yes. Sorry, I'm being distracted by my
cat.
Oh,
no, you're good. You're good.
So I will give this match 4.
Okay. Wow.
4.
All right.
Okay.
I liked Team Raw. Since day 1, I liked Team Raw minus Riddle. I would have liked Riddle to be replaced with someone, because if they put another big guy on the team, so AJ was the only small guy, I just think that would have been hilarious.
Yeah. He already has a big guy behind him.
AJ's not a small dude, but compared, Sheamus is the closest one to his size, and he still makes AJ look small as hell.
You know what this team kind of reminded me of? remember Brock Lesnar's team from 2003?
Oh my
With
God.
A-Train and Nathan Jones
Kane,
and Big Show.
Like, bro,
Matt Morgan, the Blueprint.
it was so
Yeah.
huge.
It reminded me of kind of like that. But I get what you say. You got like Strowman, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Riddle. And then you had, AJ Styles, which plays his part very
The
well.
little captain.
Yeah. And I hate they called him the self-proclaimed captain when he actually was the captain. The football-style patch on his vest says otherwise.
Hey, no one on the team agreed that he was the captain. So
Oh, he totally was the captain, but
he was the unofficial captain.
oh, he was totally the captain. But
I appreciate that almost everyone actually wore the color of their brand this year.
mhm.
Because, like, if you look at Survivor Series of the past and even bragging rights of the past, like, a lot of them, it was like, nah, I'm not going to wear the brand color, blah. They know I'm...
Oh, yeah. And it wasn't just the boring Raw and SmackDown shirts. Their whole gear was actually color coordinated. Like,
Yes.
shout out to later in the show.
I appreciated that so
Yeah,
much.
Bianca Belair, who had a nice blue outfit. Like, they actually,
Did you see
went above and
Montez
beyond.
Ford and Bianca Belair on Instagram? Or
Oh,
No.
I didn't.
I think WWE posted the picture, and they were like, they are arriving to Survivor Series in style. Montez is in a full suit and the hat he wore to the ring, and then Bianca's in a full blue outfit too. They look
Nice.
fire.
Nice.
I was
They
like,
were
Nice.
yes.
Nice.
repping SmackDown well. Speaking of the Street Profits, up next we have the Tag Team Champions showing off. The Street Profits are going up against the New Day, who, for some odd reason, are not wearing their brand colors.
But they were wearing some sweet Gears of War armor to the ring. That looked
Yes.
straight out of a
Yeah.
WrestleMania entrance.
I
and
think
they
that's
looked
why.
awesome.
It looks
I think
cool.
that's why they weren't wearing the Raw colors, was because they were advertising the Gears 5 gear.
Just for publicity. And, like, they also brought Big E out with them, which was nice to see him.
That was.
Like, but then the Street Profits come out and Big E is gone. He's just vanished.
WWE, I'm going to say this now. If you don't do anything with Big E in the next few months, fucking reunite the New Day, because it's pissing me off that you broke them up and you're not doing anything with Big E right now.
Yep. But one thing I will say about this thing is that you could tell these two teams were really itching to get in the ring with each other. And legit also. Like,
Well, I
it
think
looked
it's the
so
first time
exciting.
they went. I think this is the first time they went toe to toe.
First time ever. Yep. It was a special
And
match for
when
that
it
reason.
comes to tag teams, in today's day and age, name a more charismatic team other than New Day and Street Profits, because these four are just oozing with charisma, and I
name
love
one.
it so much.
I can't name one for sure.
I just love
Chris
these
is
two
trying
teams so
really
much.
hard to think of.
I'm trying, but I'm like struggling here. I was like, do I have to go off show here and like come up with another one?
Come up with a tag
Private
team from
Party doesn't
All
count.
Elite? Like,
Private Party doesn't count.
Private Party does not count. But
Jurassic
Angelo
Express
Dawkins
with Marco Stunt.
Angelo Dawkins and Austin Creed to start off. I did write down Austin Creed because it's like, oh, they're bringing up, down, down to the ring now. You know, like, it's just because Dox appears a lot on
Basically,
up,
yeah.
down, down. But there was a lot of really neat exchanges with these four. It was weird to see the New Day kind of played like the faux heels almost.
I hope they turn while they're on Raw. I hope they turn.
Interesting.
I don't know. There was one part of the match where Austin Creed, aka Xavier, whatever you want to call him,
Yeah.
he had. Oh, I can't remember if it was Dawkins or Ford, but he had one of them on the ground, and he just like stood up and looked down at him all maniacally. And I was just like, yeah, I need heel New Day again. I need
Yeah,
heel New Day.
Also,
brought me right back
remember
to
later in the
2015.
match, Kofi Kingston, while they were getting the heat on Street Profits, Kingston was taunting Montez Ford with the red Solo cup, and he was pretending to drink from it, and
Yep.
then Kingston punts it.
Oh,
Okay.
yep.
Hold on, before I forget, I don't know if it was this Monday or like the past Monday, but New Day was it was this last Monday because it was with the Hurt Business. So the New Day ran a promo on the Hurt Business while they were walking to the ring, and Kofi Kingston had one of the best sound bits. Oh, it made me laugh for 20 minutes. Like, literally, it was just so hilarious. Like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, the New Day are great. Like, gotta
It
love
would
them.
make more sense if it was like if I actually explained
Oh, it's
it,
good.
but
It's
like,
good. No
I'm
problem.
just
Yeah,
it's
but
fun.
one thing I will say about Kofi Kingston is I think he needs to stop doing the goddamn trust fall because the move
I
makes
like that
no
move.
sense. It looks cool, but like in context, he should not be trusting his opponent to catch him. If we're keeping a case,
Oh,
Yeah,
the one where he like jumps backwards out of the ring.
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I like it. It's different.
he's
I don't
trusting
like
Montez
the, like-
Ford
like
to catch
it's
him.
cool. Okay, here's the thing. Cody Rhodes did the same move when he was Stardust, and he called it the Falling Star. I think that's why I like the move so much. But Kingston makes it look so cool.
He also does it super safely. Like, he does it super slow. Like, you can like see him take 30 seconds before you actually have to like catch him. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen some of the guys like, should I grab him? He's kind of just floating there.
It's I may be in the
Also,
minority here. It
I
does.
will be. New Day can turn heel. New Day can turn heel when they have more than 2 teams on SmackDown.
On
I
Raw,
mean,
you
SmackDown, Raw. When they have more than 2 tag teams on Raw, they can turn heel because
Well,
the
I
tag
mean-
team scene in WWE is dead.
because all the other tag teams on Raw are heels. You got the Hurt Business, you got Retribution, and you got I don't even know who else. Miz and Morrison, but they're busy with something else. They're not baby faces.
And
but-
they're heel.
Yep.
So yeah, when they get more variety of tag teams, they can turn heel. And then SmackDown has Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. There's a reason why the tag teams aren't doing anything right now in WWE because there are no tag teams.
Still a tag team?
Yeah. Where was Cesaro on this show? Is
Yeah,
he hurt?
but
I didn't know. I thought that too.
that's a good question.
I didn't know.
Also, the best babyface team on Raw right now is injured in the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
So that's a shame.
Yeah. Ivar, I think, had something with his neck going on. I hope he gets well soon. But
Yeah.
there was.
Anywho, back to the match.
Oh yeah, no, Montez Ford was selling his ribs so well, by the way. So good.
I mean, they worked on it long enough.
Yeah, Kobe
Yeah.
hit the boom drop 3 times in a row. And Montez Ford also hit the frog splash, and he was selling that like nobody's business. Like, even though it was his offensive maneuver.
Okay, the best part of this match is that New Day and Street Profits both hit their finishers, and they both kicked out. Only once.
Oh yeah, this last
Street
section
Profits
of the
kicked
match.
out of Midnight Hour, and then New Day kicked out of the Sky High into the Cash Out.
Yeah.
Also, Dawkins with that double underhook freaking
Yeah, it was like an
corkscrew
impaler neck breaker
thing.
Yeah.
So, ever since the Street Profits came to be in NXT, I've only heard one thing. Montez Ford, he's a future world champion. They need to
He
break up
is.
the Street Profits so Montez Ford can go on his singles run. I love Montez Ford, but I respect the grind that Angelo Dawkins puts in.
For sure.
And I just look at Dawkins and I go, let's give this guy some credit. I remember seeing Dawkins in NXT when he was just Mr. Stir the Pot and thinking, this guy has charisma, but he's not going to make it. And the Street Profits, thankfully, revived that career. It revived his career. And now I just look at Dawkins just like, he has gotten so much better. He's dropped a ton of weight. Don't sleep on Dawkins. I get Ford is amazing, and I love him, but don't sleep on Dawkins.
Oh, I agree. I think he actually got the pinfall in this match. I think, well, Montez Ford also hit a Trouble in Paradise before we get there, which I loved.
Which was
I
great.
was like, stole the finisher. But yeah, I think Doc's actually hit the blockbuster, and that was it. 3 count there.
I was kind of shocked they went over super clean.
I mean, they're not going to cheat to win.
Like-
I wanted the Street Profits to win, but like,
I honestly, I went in there thinking the New Day were gonna go over. I am happy that Xavier took the pin because Kofi has a better resume. He's been there longer. He was a former WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy Xavier took the pin. I'm just impressed that they put them over. Like I was
I
not
think it's
expecting
more
them
of
to put
a,
Street
you're
Profits
right.
over.
New Day has been there long enough, and they can afford a loss.
Oh,
And I feel like
totally.
Street Profits could benefit more from this, especially going on with their tag team title run, because they've been champions for a very long time. I know they swapped titles, but I
Yeah.
count this as the run. As
It's just one
they've been
reign.
champions since February.
Yep.
I think they're, as of now, they are the longest reigning champions in WWE right now. Sami Zayn doesn't count. He dropped the title, and Drew McIntyre lost and regained the title. But they've been champions since February.
Yeah.
That's not something to sleep on.
Do not sleep on the Street Profits. But honestly, you know what this match reminded me of? It honestly reminded me a lot of the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express from All Out. Two babyface
Another fun
teams
match.
just like going balls to the wall, hitting them with every move they can think of, stealing each other's finishers. Very fun match.
Except the only difference of this match is that the veterans actually put over the new guys. Oh, did I just say that out loud?
Yikes.
Street Profits actually went over, as they should.
Yikes. But told a nice story. I'd give it 4 stars. I mean, if I'm being really nice, maybe I'll just give it 3 3/4 because I kind of wish it went a little bit longer, but nice exchanges. And of course.
Yeah, 3 3/4 for me just because, yeah.
Of
the
course.
match, I feel like it could have gotten like 2 to 3 more minutes.
Yeah, of course handshakes are exchanged after the match. And you could tell these teams were legit excited to wrestle each other. And they will have better matches down the line. This is not the last time these two are going to go at it.
Oh no, for sure.
But yeah, Chris, you have any final thoughts on the
So
match?
coming up next,
I give it a 3.5. I am surprised the Street Profits went over. Congratulations to them, though. That's a big win for them. It was a solid tag match.
Oh,
I
for
liked
sure.
it.
So coming up next, and I'm going to get all my thoughts out because I know Zach's going to rant about this. We had the United States champion Lashley versus the Intercontinental champion Sami Zayn. I'm going to go into what I liked about this match because I will say this was a nothing match. This was a mad match. Nothing happened in this match. I liked the story they told because it was mostly not Zayn trying to out-wrestle Lashley. It was Zayn trying to outsmart Lashley, trying to pull his devious tricks like he always does, trying to pull a fast one on Lashley. And every single time Zayn tried to do that, the Hurt Business was right there to say, nuh-uh, you're not going to pull your crap tonight. We're going to stop you there. And even when Zayn was trying to take off the turnbuckle pad, Shelton Benjamin was right there and said, no, you're not pulling your tricks tonight. You know you can't beat Lashley. Go in there and take your ass whooping like a man. That's what I liked in this match. Other than that,
Yeah.
it was a heel versus a heel match, and it didn't do anything for me.
You know, man, you know what I think needs to happen? I think they need to turn Sami
What?
babyface again. Like, because his matches as a heel.
No.
Okay, hear me
He's
out.
too
Hear
good
me
as
out.
a heel.
Hear me out.
Lashley would have worked better as a babyface in this match.
Hear me out here, though. First of all, thank God Bobby Lashley's sisters were not involved in this match. I'm sorry I brought that one up. But Sami Zayn, if you guys were watching the Kickoff show, he almost got scathingly political on there about the U.S. title, and he was like berating the U.S. title, and like Lashley should be embarrassed to hold the
Which
United
I
States
loved.
title. Like he could honestly, he could keep this character. He could keep the character he's doing now, but he could still be a babyface. Like, think about it. This could be the most outspoken babyface since CM Punk. I'm honestly like just going on a limb here right now.
But it works better as a heel because he can get under the fan's skin so easily. And that's what I love most about Sami Zayn. He can get under your skin.
Listen, name one normal match that has been an instant classic of Sami Zayn since he's been a heel. Tell me.
Clash of Champions, AJ Styles.
That was
Jeff
not
Hardy.
a normal match.
Ladder
That was a ladder match. Just no gimmicks attached.
You said normal match.
A straight up
I get what
wrestling
you're saying.
match.
I get what you're saying, but he's a heel. He doesn't have to have instant classics. Instant classic matches are for baby faces.
I miss the Sami Zayn matches with Shinsuke Nakamura from TakeOver Dallas. I miss those kind of matches from Sami Zayn.
Here's the thing. He does work well as a babyface. I'm just saying right now, he needs to be a heel. And I think he needs to get all this heel stuff out of him before he can turn back into a babyface. And I feel like he's right in the middle of it right now.
Sami got screwed, though, man. Like, he felt like the bigger babyface here, but I don't know, but the match was fine. I mean, I'm not knocking like the action at all. Like the wrestling was good.
Yeah, it was fine, but it really didn't do anything for me. Like I said, I like the storytelling behind this match more than the actual. This is a match. It didn't do anything. Like I said, there was no heat going into this match.
Nope, not at all. I mean, yeah, Bobby Lashley just locks in the full Lashley at the end, or the hurt lock, whatever you want to call it, and Sami taps immediately, and I'm like, what the shit, man? Like,
he's a chicken shit heel. He's a chicken shit heel.
Sami Zayn's
that's the best way I can
though.
just,
Like, I know,
but right now he's a chicken shit heel. Seth Rollins has been this way. Kevin Owens has been this way. Really good wrestlers have to adapt to this kind of gimmick, and he's a chicken shit heel. It's the best way I can describe it.
Now, my question: what makes it a chicken shit heel? Why not a strategic heel? Live to fight another day. Faster you tap out, less you're in pain. Trust me.
Good point.
I have put full Nelsons on people. It's one of my go-to submissions, and I have been in some serious full Nelsons. If it's in properly, it hurts.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you get that swing that Bobby does. I do the swing because of Bobby. I saw Bobby Lashley just flipping him around like crazy, and that's how I started doing it, and it adds to it. So yeah, if I'm in that, I'm like, no, unless I know that I can break that guy's grip, nope, I'm done. Get me out of this. It hurts. So
I
it's
get
like,
that.
yes,
yeah,
chicken shit heel. I get it, but it's more like he's the he's not the ring general. That's freaking Walter. What is he?
the Great Liberator.
The Great Liberator. Okay,
yeah,
so he's like,
that was it.
He wants to live to fight another day. So he's like,
he's smart.
I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, he's smart. And I loved his match at Clash of Champions, but that was a ladder match with two other guys who are high flyers. But
again, he's a heel. Heels don't do instant classics sometimes.
I know.
Heels throwback
instant classics are for baby faces.
Daniel Bryan has gotten a lot of instant classics. Yeah, it's
all heels. I say heels with this gimmick.
I really hate doing this. I got to give this match a 1.5 stars. Like the wrestling wasn't awful. I just am so sick of this Sami Zayn lackluster. I want to see another instant classic.
Okay, here's
Sami
the thing.
Zayn match.
At least he's putting more effort now than he was back in February when he was just letting Shinsuke Nakamura. And he's putting more effort now than he was at WrestleMania when he was just running away from Daniel Bryan.
I couldn't believe that. Yeah, Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan was a clusterfuck of a match. I'll never forget it. Tomas already knows his story, but Chris, I took my girlfriend to a SmackDown before the Roni hit and was like, nah, fam, you can't go to Extreme Rules this year. She saw Sami Zayn outside the ring while Cesaro was wrestling Elias. And I look at her and I tell her, hey, would you believe me if I told you that guy on the outside is one of the best wrestlers in the world? And I kid you not, she said, no, he looks like Seth Rogen and he's annoying. And I'm like, I can't believe
I definitely get where you're coming from. I'm just saying that Zayn right now is adapting more to his character, and at least he's putting more effort now than he was back in April.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, this was a man match.
Oh yeah, and rating wise, I'll give it 1.75 stars just to be nice, and that's purely for the storytelling. I could care less for the actual match.
Chris has been so flustered by our ratings. Did you like this match more than we did?
I was gonna say, do I have to change my ratings? I was gonna give it a 3.
No, please.
What?
How much?
No,
3.5. Hey, that's his rating.
Okay,
it
guys,
is.
I respect it.
I'm coming at this with a show kind of mindset.
Okay.
It was the comic relief match.
Okay.
So it's like, yes, it was storytelling because they wanted it to. Sure, you got Bobby Lashley in there. He is a freak athlete and can do whatever he wants most of the time. I don't know. I've never seen him do off the top rope kind of stuff, but but that's a strong, fast dude.
Mhm.
And then you put him with Sami Zayn, who knows his way inside and out of a ring better than most. They could have put on a 5-star match easily, in my opinion. But you got to remember what their characters are at this point.
Exactly.
You got to
Yeah.
remember, it's sports entertainment.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the name
So
of the game.
I'm going to give it a 3.5 because
That's fine. That's fine.
the Hurt Business came out looking clean in that black and gold.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one other thing I'll say. Whoever dresses the Hurt Business deserves a raise right now.
Oh my God, they are on fire.
They
every
look so
week.
clean.
Like,
Hey, dare I say they could be the best thing on Monday Night Raw right now. But don't make them pretend to be baby faces against Retribution.
Well, we're not going to talk about Retribution. We're not going to make me livid right now, but
I'll give you 2 names that I associate with Raw at this point. Hurt Business and The Fiend.
Once they start putting the Fiend back on TV.
Not Drew
Dude.
McIntyre?
Looks like we'll talk about Drew McIntyre a little later.
on.
We'll talk about Drew McIntyre
back to the wrestling aspect. We get Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the millionth time in 2020.
And that's my thing with this match. It was a very good match, but I've seen it so many times. Like,
yeah,
it's just like Andrade and Humberto Carrillo from last year. Yes, they
just
put on
like
a good
Sasha
match.
Banks and Charlotte.
Yeah, like we've seen it enough.
Yeah,
I feel like this is just an unfortunate case of they wanted the SmackDown Women's title on Sasha Banks, and the Raw Women's Champion is Asuka. Oh well, we have to do this match. There's no one else that they're going to put the titles on right now.
Yeah,
it was a victim of circumstance.
I'll give the ladies credit for at least trying to make this match feel at least a little different from the other ones that they've done, because they're both baby faces this time, and it's all about them trying to out wrestle the other ones, and we're not having to deal with the shenanigans of Bayley being a special referee or Bayley being a Kairi Sane to cost Asuka the title by countout. You know, we don't have to deal with all those shenanigans. It can just be a straight-up wrestling match.
Yeah, the dynamic was different. And I really have nothing else to say about this match because I kind of was just watching it just like, I've seen this a million times. It does not matter who wins. Asuka will still be the Raw Women's Champion. Sasha Banks will still be the SmackDown Women's Champion. We saw this match a million times over the summer. 3.5 stars. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good match. I give it 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 if I'm being nice. One other thing I'll say is that Sasha was hitting Meteoras, and thank God that Michael Cole was not on commentary for this match because he would have been freaking the fuck out.
His favorite move in the world.
Yep.
Meteora. I don't know any other moves. So
Asuka was also hitting the code breaker in this match, even though they can't call it the code breaker because
hell, they don't even call it the code breaker on AEW. So I think that's fair game for anyone.
Yeah, but I liked that Sasha won by out wrestling Asuka rather than just making her tap.
Me too. I'm also glad that Banks went over because Asuka went over so many times over the summer. It's nice to see Banks get a clean win over her.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think?
So I'm gonna give the match a 3.
Okay.
Mainly in the sense of it was Asuka versus Banks, 12, 13, 14 at this point. Who knows? So you've seen one, you've seen them all at this point. Like, so I didn't expect anything exciting, and I wasn't far off except for the fact that Sasha went over, which I was not expecting.
Yeah.
It could be a personal thing, but I honestly didn't want Sasha to go over quite yet because I feel her first time going over Asuka should be a heel Asuka on a bigger pay-per-view. Because that
interesting.
Sasha Banks beating Asuka for the first time, knowing their record, how many times they've gone against each other and how many times she's lost.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
I would have that is a hype storyline WrestleMania kind of feel. Sasha Banks finally beats Asuka.
Yeah.
You know what? Thinking about this entire
Good point.
pay-per-view, with the exception of the main event, I think that's another big issue this pay-per-view had. It was too many bland face versus face or bland heel versus heel.
Yeah, they kind of lined up pretty dang well, face and heel this time round.
With the
Drew
exception
McIntyre
of
and Roman Reigns had 2 days to build, and they had more build going into
Yeah.
this match more than any of these other matches.
With
that had
just
like 3
a
to 4 weeks.
contract signing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't count last Friday's SmackDown because McIntyre was not the WWE champion, and we didn't even know if we were going to get that match. So they had one SmackDown to get this match over, and they did better than all of these matches that have had 3 to 4 weeks to get over.
Oh,
With the
totally.
exception of that Street Profits promo where they acted like the New Day. Or was it the New Day
man,
acting
that
like Street
was
Profits?
that was
It
one of the
New Day
best
acting like
Street
Street
Profits promos ever. But
Yeah.
but Asuka Sasha, it was fine. I'm assuming Sasha moves on to Carmella at TLC next month, which we are getting on December 20th, a week after my birthday. Thank you very much.
Nice.
And so next, I'm just gonna move on to the next match, completely disregarding that the goddamn gobbledygooker was the 24/7 champion in 2020. But
So on the pre-show, R-Truth came on to the pre-show panel, and he thought they were celebrating the
shouldn't have mentioned that.
gobbledygooker instead of the Undertaker. And then the gobbledygooker appeared, and he rolled up R-Truth, and he won the 24/7 championship. And then the gobbledygooker was backstage, and he was distracted by birdseed because he's not a guy in a costume. Remember, he's an actual bird. And he went and he started eating the birdseed. And then Akira Tozawa appeared out of nowhere, and he rolled up the gobbledygooker, and he won the 24/7 championship. And then R-Truth appeared with a bag of birdseed, hit Tozawa in the head with it, and then he rolled up Tozawa, and he's the 24/7 champion again.
How many
Was that-
times is this? Is he up to like 60 at this point?
45.
45 time, 24/7, 48/7, 7-Eleven, whatever it is. But yeah,
5 South. Was that the part you didn't want to talk about?
yes. So women's Survivor Series elimination match. So before we get into this, also just to note, the score at this point is Raw is up 3-2. Team Raw in this case is Nia Jax, who's not like most girls, Shayna Baszler, Peyton Royce, Lacey Evans, and Lana going up against Bayley, Natalya, Liv Morgan, who is awesome, Ruby Riott, and Bianca Belair. This one could have honestly gone either way going in.
Okay, so looking at the teams, I like Team SmackDown more
Agreed.
because
Me
I
too.
feel like we don't get enough of the Riot Squad, and they are very underrated. I love Bayley. Natalya is a legend at this point, and Bianca Belair is going to be the top babyface of SmackDown. They just got to keep pushing her. Meanwhile, on Raw, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler should not be a tag team champion. We'll get into Lana in a minute. I
Yeah.
like her more than most of these girls. Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce were not even supposed to be in this match. And Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are the most pointless tag team in the world. So looking at these teams, I like SmackDown more going into this, just by who is in it.
Yeah, long story short, I wrote down a lot of notes asking Nia to please not hurt anyone this time. So you can tell which team I liked more.
Also, big ups to Peyton Royce in this match. She looked good.
She looked awesome. She was really, really good.
They
She eliminated
finally let her
Bayley.
do stuff.
She eliminated Bayley.
They finally let her do stuff. See, WWE, you can do stuff with women who are not Bayley or Asuka or Sasha Banks, and if you let them do stuff, they look good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we do get a Lana blind tag at one point, and this is the big story of the match. So she tags in, and she's in there with Liv Morgan, first of all, which is history. Nice roll throughs. Lana almost pins Natty. And then after that, she's tagged out, and then Shayna Baszler just tells her to stand on the ring steps for the rest of the match. And she actually does. She stays there like a freaking statue and does nothing else the rest of the match. This is important.
Giving Lana credit. I know a lot of people don't like Lana. I know they think her acting is horrible, and everyone thinks she's a terrible wrestler. But Lana did a good job of getting sympathy from me.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I looked at that and just went, she's getting bullied. That's not nice. I don't like that. I want to see Lana get back. And oh boy, did she get back. But
I agree.
yeah, I did. Lana does a good job of getting sympathy.
Oh, yeah. But all hell is breaking loose before the Bayley submission. There's a please be careful Nia note. Yeah, Peyton pins Bayley after her finisher. Natty tried to do a submission hold, and it just didn't work. And Natty
No.
Great recovery. Just goes right to the sharpshooter and makes Peyton Royce tap out that way. But I don't know what she was trying there. But
Love you to death, Natalia. Don't know what the hell she was going for, but it didn't work.
it just didn't work. As an actor, I'll say great recovery, Natalia.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she's shortly afterwards eliminated by the goddamn punch finisher by Lacey Evans, and I'm like,
The women's right.
it's a damn
I
right
like
hand.
Lacey Evans.
She's
She's come
got
a long way.
yeah, she's gotten better from when I saw her sandbag Bailey in her hometown.
Yeah, there's a lot of wrestlers that in this match that have come a long way. Evans, Lana, Liv Morgan. I've always been a fan of Ruby Riott. Again,
Bianca
I like the women in this match a lot.
Yeah,
And they all deserve pushes.
Bianca Belair hit a glam slam. If I could speak tonight. Lacey Evans also hit a Spanish fly, which really shocked me. And I was like,
Looked good.
okay, Lacey Evans. Yeah, that was a really, really clean Spanish fly. Let's see. Yeah, but I think Lacey was – I don't remember how Lacey was eliminated. I'm looking at my notes, and, like, I don't see where it was. It must have – I think it was Liv Morgan. It was Liv Morgan. I'm seeing it now. So,
She got pinned by Liv Morgan.
Crucifix bomb.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But before that, Shayna literally puts Ruby Riott to sleep with the Kurafuda clutch, which is kind of an awkward elimination, all things considered, because you just pinned Ruby Riott after that. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
She had the hold in for so long, and then she passed out, and then she decided to pin her, which was, I don't know, different, I guess.
Oh yeah. So we get a Bianca and Shayna showdown, Takeover Phoenix callbacks, and Bianca falls into the ropes when she falls asleep to the Kirifuda clutch, and the referee counts Shayna Baszler out, disqualified, 5 count.
Which was great. I liked that finish a lot because not only do you never see someone just fall into the ropes like that, but it was the best way to get Baszler out while keeping her in. As much as we don't like Nia Jax, they are very strong as the tag team champions, and you got to keep them strong.
Yeah.
So this was the best way to eliminate them without making them look too bad.
I would have rather had Bianca just pin Shayna Baszler here and Nia and Lana, all 3 of them. This was the perfect opportunity to put over Bianca Belair, but
again, Bianca Belair was looking very good in this match, and again,
until
she's going
of
to
course
be the top
the
babyface
finish.
on SmackDown.
Yeah, until the finish, of course. Bianca and Nia are fighting on the outside, and the referee is counting them out. And Bianca sends Nia over the barricade at a 9 count, and then the ref reaches 10. Both of them are counted out, which means they're both out, which leaves only one, Lana, on the steel steps.
Lana won by doing nothing, and I loved it.
And keep in mind, Lana, by doing that, won the entire Survivor Series for Raw.
Sole survivor.
Yep.
What?
By doing nothing.
That's I was not expecting. I wanted to know how Lana was going to be a factor in the whole match. That was not how I expected it, but I could not see it playing out any better. That was possibly the best way that could have played out, and I'm very happy with that outcome.
Also, this screams WWE saying, please don't quit and go to AEW. I know your husband is there, but please don't quit and go to AEW.
That's exactly
and at this
what
point,
this was.
The only way they can get Lana to not do that is if they put the title on her. And I know they ain't going to do that. So
why can't they just let Lana be happy and be with Miro? Like, you know, like they've already.
But that's what this finish screamed. This whole push that Lana's getting, we know why it's happening. So I just love how WWE is doing this.
I'm a little
subtle.
disappointed because, like, a few weeks ago, they had a storyline with Lana and Asuka. Like, Asuka was like, they were teaming together, and like Asuka was like trying to help build her up, and I was like, I could get behind this tag. This is hilarious.
Yeah. If they want to do that at TLC. If they could do that at TLC and not put Asuka and Lana over, I could see that too. I thought they were going to do that at Hell in a Cell, but alas, here we are.
And, yep,
because
Raw.
Who the hell else is Asuka this is just last year all over again with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus the Kabuki Warriors. Like, Asuka has no one else to feud with, so until then, she's got to feud with the tag champs.
It's very true, and they're all on Raw, so it's a match made in heaven. But I gave this match 2.25 stars. I was really digging this match, and I was really hoping Bianca was going to go over, and then the damn finish happened. Like, that's as WWE as it gets. Like, they try to protect people. They try to protect people, and then it gets to the point where they put nobody over.
I gave it 3.5 because, like I said, this match featured a lot of women that don't get the opportunity to show off, and they all did a very good job, and I want to see more of these women. And again, I actually like the finish. So I like this match more than the men's match because they didn't fucking just squash one of the teams. And I know Bianca Belair didn't look the strong. She could have looked a lot stronger in this match. But it's like WWE was like, put Bianca Belair over or do this storyline with Lana that we've been trying to get over. It's like one or the other.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Chris, what did you think?
Well, okay. I don't know how I'm gonna rate it yet. I'm gonna talk first. Let's see if I find a number.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It at some points it did feel like it went on longer than it should have. I appreciated them doing high spots. The Spanish Fly was nice. The suplex with Peyton and Bailey off the top onto the crowd scared me a little because it looked like Bailey hit really quick on the mat, and I was a little scared, but everyone was okay. I really wanted to see Bianca eliminate Nia and Shayna.
I'm with you on that, man.
Like, at least. I'm happy with the finish. It was a very good fit. Like I said, I did not see that coming, but, like, Lana was still involved in the match, but there's no way how they've built Lana and Bianca's characters, Lana would have gone over Bianca. There's no way. So
also, there are going to be a million more opportunities for WWE to make Bianca Belair look strong. This was their one opportunity to do something like this.
This was a perfect opportunity, though. She was fighting back 3-on-1, and then she pulls off the miracle at the end, and she's the sole survivor. Like, Bianca Belair's grown a lot on me. Like, I know I've trashed her hair gimmick, and she should be disqualified for using it in the match, but like,
I was shocked she didn't even use it. I was like,
she didn't use it. Maybe that's
she
why
hasn't used the hair in a long time.
Yeah,
dude,
I don't think she's used the hair since she's been in NXT.
Yeah, but I don't know. But it was a yeah, that ending though. All right, let's feel better a little bit. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. The main event.
Why do you say feel better? I hate this.
What?
I'm so disappointed in this match.
Oh, okay. This is one of those opportunities where we're going to have to get all the positives out of the way before we let the negatives come out. Like I said, this match had one SmackDown to get over, and it did a better job than most of the matches. Out of all of the matches Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns have had, this was the best one. The dynamic was different. I honestly think McIntyre as a babyface and Roman Reigns as a heel works better.
Oh, yeah.
And the first half of the match was pretty slow, but when it picked up, it picked up.
Couple things about Roman Reigns. First of all, I still do not have his dentist's phone number, and I'm still very upset about that. Number two, when
you get it, can you give it to me too, please?
Yes, I'll give it to both of you. And he also comes out with a gold glove. I don't know if he did that at Hell in a Cell or not, but I was looking at him like, he's stealing King Corbin's gimmick here because he's the Golden Gloves boxing champ. King Corbin should come out and be like, that's gimmick infringement. But, I mean, Roman's awesome.
He's too busy being the Burger King right now, so I don't think he cares that much.
He's too busy being the STD Burger King. Then, thank you, Dwayne Johnson. Drew McIntyre comes out with a bloody sword. And I'm like, are you going to kill Roman? Like,
did you not see him come out with it on Raw?
I totally did, and it's awesome.
Okay.
Drew's the bloody man.
I just wanted to make sure. I was like, because he
of
killed
course
Randy
I
Orton with the
did.
sword
Of
too.
course I watched that match, and I'm so happy it's back on Drew. Drew's the bloody man. But, like,
Yeah.
this match, when Roman got the heat on him for a really long time, I was really concerned that this was going to be a terrible main event because it was very boring for a lot of the time Roman was on offense. But once Drew made the comeback, that's when it got good. I was like...
Especially near the end when McIntyre was kicking out of everything, that's when it got really good for me.
Yeah.
He took a spear and kicked out. He took another spear, kicked out. He took a Samoan drop through the announce table, got speared through the barricade, kicked out. And it's like, those are my favorite kind of baby faces. The ones that do not stay down. And it makes you get behind them a hell of a lot easier.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. Man, so good. Roman is cursing up a storm with Samoa Joe before he goes for the spear. Just getting right to the finish. Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore, but Roman Reigns bumps into referee Rudy Charles, or Dan Engler, if you want to get really pedantic with me. But, yeah, so he hits a Claymore. There's no referee. Jey Uso runs out. Everybody thought he left. Roman hits a low blow. Jey comes in with a super
Real
kick.
quick. I think it's very important to bring up that there was a backstage segment earlier in the night where Roman Reigns went up to the Usos and basically told Jey, you lost the match. They didn't take you seriously, which means they don't respect the family. If you do not make them respect us, you're out of the family. You don't have a spot at the table. So I think that played a big part onto why Jey Uso came out.
Yep, and he helped Roman win ultimately. Superman punch, and then he locks the guillotine choke on Drew, and Drew's in that thing for a while. There's a second ref that runs out, and then Drew's basically, he's put to sleep from the guillotine choke, and then the ref...
McIntyre almost powers out of it, but then he just collapsed right back down. I think this was the best way to not only get Roman Reigns over, but to keep McIntyre looking strong, and to just, not make McIntyre look so weak.
Yeah, for sure. But Roman does beat him. He doesn't win the Survivor Series for SmackDown because Lana already did that for Raw. Just keeping that in mind. I gave this match 3 3/4 stars. The first half of this match was a 2-star match, but then the second half was a 4.5-star match. You know what's really amazing though, guys, is that I really, really dug this match, and I'm really happy they did this over Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. But I liked all of Drew's matches with Randy Orton a million times better than this match. I don't know what it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Which is funny that you bring that up because I rewatched Hell in a Cell last night so Brittany could catch up with me for this show. And I watched that Hell in a Cell match. I was like, this was a lot better watching it the second time around. But again, I just think the dynamic of tonight's match, there was a lot more drama. And there's one thing Roman Reigns has done that we have talked about in these podcasts is that he brings out so much raw emotion ever since he's turned heel. And I think that's why I like this match more than the Randy Orton feud. But I give the match 4 stars. It was very fun. Wow. And like I said, out of all the Roman Reigns Drew McIntyre matches we've seen over the past year and a half, this was the best one.
Yeah, for sure. Chris, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it 2.5 to 3.
Ooh,
okay.
Why is that?
Okay, so the truth shall come out tonight.
Uh-oh.
I've never been a fan of Reigns.
Okay.
I think he is, I wouldn't say boring character, but he's definitely not entertaining. He's barely changed in his tenure there. Like, this is the first time his character has changed in some way since him and Shield came about.
Mm-hmm.
He's just always been the big dog throwing his weight around like no one can beat me. I'm like super strong. Only Brock Lesnar can take me out. Blah. I don't know. I've never the more I sat and like thought about it, especially now that he's a heel, a lot of what he does hasn't changed.
No.
Like, he still talks slow on the mic. He still moves slow in the ring, just now it's slower because you have the heel, like, mentality where it's like, take your time, be methodical, drag it out. So now it's just even slower. I honestly, I'm not a fan of Drew either, but I wanted Drew to go over.
Okay. Now, what's your issue with Drew McIntyre?
I just don't like that he thinks he's all that. Like, you can tell he thinks he's just all that. Like, yeah, no. I feel like he still has that, like, prodigal son mentality. Like, yeah, no, I'm the hand chosen one. Ha 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 ha. Yes. No.
I get that in a sense that WWE has kind of been hammering in a little too much. I was a little shit my first time around WWE, but I got my act together and now I'm better than I've ever been. It's like they're hammering that fact in a little too much. It's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
It could be the fact they drew this out too. Like, the first time he came back, like, they gave I kind of, when he was in NXT, I was kind of turning around on him, and then they brought him back to the main roster, and they did that whole war dog gimmick, and then, like,
The Dogs of War. Oh, I forgot about that.
and
I
then
forgot about
they kind of just had him floating around on the main roster. He barely had any wins until he turned face.
Which that's the thing. I wanted him to return babyface, and I knew he'd do better as a babyface because I used to watch him in TNA, and when he was babyface world champion, it's like, WWE, you need to capitalize on this. And when they turned him heel, it's like, no, that's going backwards. He needs to be a babyface, and he needs to carry the company. And I think they waited a little too long to do that.
Yeah. So
yeah, I agree.
So in NXT, he was changing my mind, but now at this point, it's just, it was drawn out too much, and now it feels like we're kind of being force fed. I'm happy he went tonight instead of Orton. Orton didn't need this match.
No.
No.
Not at all.
I think the reason why you guys like the Orton and McIntyre matches better is because you got to remember who's in the ring with him. Tonight it was him and Reigns. He's been there a while, but
not as long as Randy Orton.
He's got the same experience as Drew.
Oh yeah.
Then you got Drew and Orton.
Yep. Yeah.
There are many wrestlers who are quoted saying that he is one of the best in that ring. He understands the art. And when you understand the art, you create nothing but masterpieces. Like, you could have a shit match, like the worst match of the night with Randy Orton, and people will still be like, yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah.
Because Orton just knows how to make himself look good and also how to make his opponent look good. And when you're learning like storytelling in a match, they tell you you're only as good as how much you can make your opponent look good. I butchered that like crazy, and I apologize to any wrestling teachers out there. I'm sorry. But it's like, in order to make yourself look good, you have to make your opponent look good, because you have to show people you can sell. So by selling, you got to take a few hits from your opponent. So it's like Orton knows how to tell a story in a match. Plus,
it's funny that you bring
athletic.
up you bring up that you can have the worst match with Orton and it'll still be good, because for a year now, every time Zack brings up that Hell in a Cell was the worst show ever, I always say, no, Randy Orton and Mustafa Ali had a good match.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about that show because of that damn main event.
We can talk about Randy Orton and Mustafa Ali. They had a good match.
They did, but it had no heat. It was just made on the kickoff. But like,
Hey, but I was just proving his point.
So yeah, this match between Drew and Roman, it might have been like, I like this match more than their match at Mania when Roman first came back from his from kicking leukemia's ass. But and that's another thing. I'm very surprised that you're saying that, Chris, because like I was in the same boat. You know, I remember going to WrestleMania 31 and Roman Reigns was in the main event with Brock, and I did not think he was ready. It's almost like giving a 16-year-old the keys to a Ferrari. You put a guy who is not ready for the Mania main event in there with Brock Lesnar, and he ended up having like the best match I've ever seen live.
And that's just Vince McMahon saying like, no, he's going to be the top guy whether you like it or not. And there's a difference between a guy like John Cena who adapted with that and he actually was the guy, and Roman Reigns where he just looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. But at least Roman Reigns is getting a lot of experience under his belt, and I think he's definitely a lot better than he was back in 2014.
Yes.
He's not forgetting his lines and looking in the camera with the stupid look on his face.
He's
not saying suffer and succotash anymore.
Turning him heel was the right call, absolutely. And putting Paul Heyman in his corner is another genius move.
Yes.
And Roman is presented extremely well.
Hot take right now. He doesn't need Paul Heyman. Hot take. He doesn't need Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
He can talk. I think Reigns can talk.
I think Reigns can talk as a heel.
As a babyface, absolutely.
Which is why I don't think he needs Heyman.
I like
Lesnar
that
needs Paul Heyman.
I like that they put him with Heyman. Not so much because Heyman's thing that he has with Roman is a lot different than the Lesnar thing. Because with Lesnar, Heyman talked more because he was the advocate. Now he's just special counsel and like whispers in the ear. So it's like it's more advice instead of like, yeah, I'm a manager for this guy. Now it's just like, no. I'm here to help your transition and get you going like this.
Take Hell in a Cell into account when Roman Reigns told Paul Heyman to shut his mouth. At that point, I was like, Paul Heyman is no longer in control, but at the same time, I don't think Heyman was ever in control to begin with. It's not like Lesnar. He does not have full control over Roman Reigns.
Roman's gone completely deranged at this point, and it's all the better for it. This was the character change he needed, and this was a really, really good main event. I was very happy to see that The Miz did not cash in, even though that looked like a perfect opportunity for him to do so. But yeah, I'm just relieved that Drew did not get a 6-day second title reign. But in any case, but that's not the actual main event. This is, of course, the show built around 30 years of The Undertaker and his final farewell. And let me just say, I did not take any notes for it because I just wanted to enjoy it one last time. You do get a lot of Hall of Famers coming out to kind of greet him, or not exactly.
Were they gone?
Yeah, they vanished after the video package. Kane was there in full gear.
I know, poor Kane. All the guys coming out in like suits and t-shirts and shit, and then he's in full freaking gear.
Yep,
Someone probably ribbed him and said, "Kane, you're working a match tonight."
And
he's up waiting for his opponent.
And Kane is the only one in the ring wearing a mask, even though Glenn Jacobs is against mask wearing in Tennessee. But anyway, it's ironic that I say that, but
that's why they ribbed him.
I didn't want to say that, but I just thought it was funny and ironic.
That's why they ribbed him.
Yeah, we do get a nice video package with the theme song that Taker rolled out to for the Boneyard match, and then we get Vince McMahon's speech in the ring.
Damn, he's looking old.
He is. He really is
old. That man is. I did the math.
He's 74 years old.
I think he's like 75. Yeah.
Close enough, but
old.
yeah,
he's old.
He did give a heartfelt speech about The Undertaker, and he introduced him one last time. And basically, Taker just comes out, and he makes one final walk to the ring, and it looks really cool in the Thunderdome. He just basically says it's time for The Undertaker to rest in peace after 30 long years. He gets down on his knee, and he does that pose, and you get a hologram of Paul Bearer, and it was a really nice to see that. You get a 10-bell salute, and he basically just leaves. It was very classy.
I'm happy. I'm very happy they did this after the show so they could take their time with it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
And with nobody, no live audiences, and just, yeah.
Technically, it's still a part of the show. I mean, they built this.
Yeah. No.
Saying goodbye to the Undertaker one last time. Well deserved,
sure.
Also. And now he can,
just with no live audience, with the Thunderdome, with this completely under WWE's control, and with being after the main event, I'm glad they did it that way so they could just really take their time and not have to be rushed by anything.
Me too. I mean, he retired probably like 3 years too late. WrestleMania 33 was a perfect send-off for him. I got all my emotions out there, but I was just like, he tipped his hat also to the audience, rather, which is great. I mean, I kind of want to it's a very classy ending to the show for sure. And it's funny because Kris and I were talking about this segment yesterday, actually. And I kind of said this not meaning it per se, but I was just thinking, what if during this farewell at the very end, the Fiend comes out and attacks the Undertaker and puts him down? Wouldn't that put the Fiend over?
That would have been nice. Because knowing Undertaker, he would want to put someone over on his way out.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this was one time. It's like, you know what? Taker deserves this. Just let him. I don't want to see Undertaker again until they induct him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Same here.
Honestly, just for fun, I thought it would have been funny if they would have thrown Elias out there just to eat a tombstone. I don't know if I think they've already done that, but
yeah,
it would have been nice just to see it one more time. But no, I just think this should have been this is for Undertaker, and he said his piece. And again, don't want to see him until they induct him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Hashtag thank you, Taker. But yeah, Kris, do you have any final thoughts about this show?
Some of the matches were good. There were some shocking calls. There were some shocking putovers today that I was not expecting. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, 7 out of 10. That feels like a fair score. I just remembered, just hearing your ratings, I'm like, he liked Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn more than Asuka and Sasha. I'm not, hey, it's a subjective opinion, of course, but I would give this show like a 6.5 if I'm being completely honest. There was no stakes to it. It felt very uneventful. Drew versus Roman was cool.
I will meet you guys in the middle and give it a 6.75 just because I appreciated the good parts of this pay-per-view, but I do agree there were no stakes, no build, nothing really happened at this pay-per-view, and I'm glad it's out of the way because I want to see who McIntyre and Reigns are going to feud with next with their respective world titles. And I'm looking forward to storylines actually progressing. So Survivor Series is fun. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad we got a break, but I'm ready for storylines to start to advance again.
Yep, I'm excited to talk about TLC next month. So you guys, viewers, thank you all so much if you've made it this far. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit that like button also if you enjoyed it. Expect TLC next month. It's always a fun time doing that. Tomas and I were actually in attendance for TLC a couple years back too. So it's going to be fun to talk about another one of those installments. Also, we got TakeOver War Games coming up in a couple weeks. I don't know how the hell they're going to do it, but I mean, if they're advertising it, obviously they have a plan, but we'll see what happens.
That's the fun in it. I can't wait to see it.
It's supposed to put 2 rings and a big giant cage into, I don't know if they're going to do it at Tropicana Field or whatever, but yeah, no, expect that. Expect all that and much, much more here on the channel very soon. Thanks again, guys. With all that being said, Mac Talk commence.